Hello everyone and welcome back to 4KB Shorts Let's Play of Kerbal Space Program. On your left you'll see Kerbals running, on your right you'll see Kerbals walking, and if you look straight ahead you will see no launch tower. That's right, Kerbal Space Adventure is now in 0.19.1.5. Anyway, we're in 19. Yay! Everybody applaud! Yay! Okay, everybody wanted this. I wanted this. I can't blame you guys. I cannot blame you guys. I wanted this too. So here we are in 0.19, and with 0.19 comes new epicness. What kind? I don't. Well, no, I'm not even gonna lie. I know exactly what kind of epicness. Now, I'm gonna wave something at my microphone here. Okay, I'm waving something at my microphone. You might hear the breeze, but it doesn't rattle because it's not paper. It's actually my iPad. And on it are some doodles. And those doodles are my secret project. Yes, I know. But I want to tell you guys a couple of things. First, I have all the mods I had in the original KSP 0.18, including the ones that are labeled as unstable for 0.19, so possible crashes, don't know. I have upgraded to MechJeb 2.0, release candidate 5. Maybe some bugs, but we do have our custom windows. Next, KSP or KSA, all the KSA or Kerbal Space Adventures that have come before have been brought over. There's just a couple of things. A couple of mods may not work. I know for a fact that the Kerbal attachment system does not work, so for the moment at least Duna is out of the question. Also, any of the old ships, all of the old ships with the old MechJeb still function perfectly with old MechJeb, but any of the new ships I put MechJeb on will have new MechJeb. I don't know how that works. I installed one and then I just thought I'd install the other one over it, and they both work. Probably going to cause some problems later on down the road, but for now, who cares? So because of that, there are some additional mods I have installed. I'm not going to tell you what they are because it is super secret, but I will also tell you that we have brought over our Kethane data as well as our map data from 0.18, so we don't have to remap all the planets again. Sweet! Alright, so because of that, we're going to begin Kerbal Space Program, Kerbal Space Adventures Season 3. Welcome! Yay! Okay. Now, where to start is a good question. Well, I know exactly where to start. We're going to start... Well, you guys are aware of what happened. What happened on Minmus. You guys are absolutely aware of what happened on Minmus, and we have the chance to go back. We have the chance to go back, but not going to. Not right now. Maybe later, not right now. Because with Kerbal Space Adventures Season 3, we want to just get out there and do some stuff, and we want to do something difficult. And a difficult thing that I have not been able to do yet is to go into the system. I can go out to Duna and out to Jewel and all those places. You saw me out at Jewel just flying around like it was nothing. I don't even know how I pulled that off, but I can't get inside to Eve or Moho. Can't do it. Don't know how. So that's what we're going to do first. And to do that, we have to map. Yes, we have to map. So in order to map, we are going to start with a bump. A bolt-on mission probe. These things are totally awesome. They work here in KSP 0.19. They are inline brains that are actually full-size. Totally awesome things. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and build ourselves... Excuse me, we are going to build ourselves a satellite. And this satellite's going to have twofold purpose. It's going to be a twofold purpose satellite. So, purpose 1 is we need a fuel tank. Yes, we need a fuel tank. Boom. Whoa, gotta be careful with that. The only thing about the bump is you have to be very careful because they are so tiny. This will actually link to the top, not the bottom. So you have to keep an eye on that. Alright, we need a fuel tank. Along with the fuel tank, we need ourselves a battery. Also super important. Should we do the battery? Yeah, let's do this in order. Let's do this in some semblance of order. Like so. There we go. Alright, now on top of that, that's right, we need ourselves... See, isn't that so much prettier? Isn't that so much prettier than it was before? You know, when you had, like... Well, I don't know if this design will stick, because I'm kind of rebuilding the rucksack, because, that's... I won't say that's what you're supposed to do, but that's what we're going to do. I do have something running in the background, so we may see a little bit of jitters. That's not the game. I'm downloading / installing something. Super important for changes on the machine that's currently running this. We'll deal with that later. So we have to do this in order. I'm not going to put a protractor on just yet. Don't let me forget. Don't let me forget. So we are going to be using that, but like I said, I am rebuilding the rucksack. And when we're rebuilding the rucksack, you have to remember all the parts and pieces that we had on there, including the top port, the top connector bit. So we could use this scanner, or we can use the other scanner. Totally up to us. I like it this way. It looks pretty cool. But then we have this option as well. Look at that little thing. Isn't that awesome? That is totally awesome. That is not without awesomeness. All right. Now, along with that, we're going to need something aerodynamics. We're going to need this. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a. We absolutely need one of these. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a map set on there. Perfectly, totally awesome. We're going to need ourselves some solar panels. Solar panels. Big ones, little ones, extendo ones, not so extendo ones, gigantor ones. Probably not gigantor ones. Alright, I think A. Is it A that goes straight out or B that goes straight out? Because for these ones, I like the ones that go straight out. That's my thing. I do like the solar panels that go straight out, but I don't remember which ones those are. So we have this. So yeah, we can either do it like this with the connector on top, just in case we want to retrieve it or push it about. I know I'm not making fun of Canadians. Well, maybe I am. I don't know. I'm not purposefully so. Or alternatively, we could just do this on the other side. Bloop. So we have it look like that. What's the drag on this little guy? 0.3. So he will cause drag. I don't believe that our ISA map set. Yeah, map set has 0 drag. So 0.3 and 0 drag, which means we'll pull that way. Well, I don't think the rucksack's going to be used. Well, it's not a rucksack. It's a rehash of the rucksack. I don't think it's going to be used for anything more than mapping Eve. So this little garbage can we got going on here is what we're probably going to use. And this is going to Eve. We're going to Eve next. I have decided. A lot of people have mentioned, and I'd like to thank each and every one of you who have mentioned. I've forgotten your names. I'm sorry. I'd mention you each by name, but it'll take me like 5 minutes to get into the history and be all like, okay, thank you, and you, and you, and you. So you guys know who you are. Some of you mentioned Duna, some of you mentioned Jewel, some of you mentioned Eve and Minmus and Gilla and all sorts of other places, and that's totally awesome. But I figure, well, I'm not going to tell you. It's secrets right here. It's doodled. It's not even written down. It's all doodled of what we're going to do. But before we do that big thing, big shiny thing, we do have to go inland, because I want to see if Eve has any anomalies. If it doesn't, we'll come back to it later. If it does, we'll check it out. You know, we'll check out the anomalies. Super awesome. And then we'll also go see Moho, depending. Anyway, there's a couple other things I wanted to tell you guys about while we're sitting here. This right here is the sub-assembly. I think it's Dead Beef. I keep calling him Dead Beef. I think that's the guy who made it. Do I have a sub-assembly loaded? Tell me I do. Tell me I do. Bam, I do. Okay, check this out. This is one I built for a Let's Play that never made it. I do apologize for that. It was a Let's Play test that never made it. Check it out. Bam, done. That's what the sub-assembly loader does. You build a ship or a loader or something. You take it up here. You click it on here, and you save it. And when you save it, you then click on it and select it like I did, and it puts all the parts you need in order on here. And then the other bonus part is when you slap that sucker on here, boom, it remembers your stages. Yeah, I set all these up before I put it in because this is an asparagus system. This one's a little broken though, unfortunately. It's not 100%, but the time that just saved me, I mean, it only saved me like 5 minutes, but honestly, the time that saved me, insanity itself. Without question, insanity itself. So, just correcting one or two little blips like this is nothing compared to trying to build one of these straight up. Without question. Because that just saved me a ton of time. So yeah, you do have to make sure that everything's running properly, that everything's in place properly, that all your tubes and wires are plugged in once you pull this thing back out. But look, boom, done. 2 clicks, and I got myself MechJeb. Okay, this is old MechJeb. I wonder if take old MechJeb off if I put new MechJeb on, if that will do something. New MechJeb. Oh yeah, look at new MechJeb. New MechJeb is tiny. New MechJeb is tiny. We'll put new MechJeb right here. Wow, new MechJeb is tiny. So yeah, that was old MechJeb. Is this old MechJeb here? Oh, okay. So you have old MechJeb and new MechJeb. Look at that. So I have both. I have old MechJeb and new MechJeb. Totally awesome. So it looks like they are compatible because they're 2 different parts. So here's new MechJeb, and look, for you guys who kept asking me, and I'm sorry I couldn't tell you, but for who kept asking me how do you get that back up, boom, there. If you close it, you just click right here, vessel information, right back up, and it gives you all your vessel info, just like that. And I made some custom windows for outside so I can take away all that clutter and everything. Hopefully that'll make the game prettier. But this is, see, unfortunately these stats aren't as good because I have vessel mass. Let's see, all stats. Yeah, I have vessel mass, max thrust, max acceleration, but that doesn't give me my thrust to weight ratio. But I guess that's what custom window is for. You can actually make a custom window which will show you can show in flight or in the editor, so I can make my own custom window, but I'll work on that in a minute unless you guys really want to see it. I don't think you do. I already wasted too much time telling you guys about this. But anyway, I made the short stack rocket, should get this up into orbit. I may have to replace it with a much larger rocket to get it to where we want to go, because we don't have any docking ports. No docking clamps, no news. I know, right? But I'll figure that part out a little bit later. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and pause here, finish this up, get it all working and in order, and I will see you guys right out there on the launch pad, and we'll get this thing up into orbit. So I'll see you guys there. Alright everybody, here we are out on the launch pad. As you can see, this is my flight data window. It has everything I need, including my staging, vertical speed, apoapsis, periapsis, time to both, longitude, latitude, everything is right here. This is all the data I use. So when you saw me before with all those MechJeb windows up, this is all the data I was looking at. So everyone's like, why do you have all those windows up? This is why. All this data was scattered over like 4 different windows. Now it's all in one, right down here in the corner. We also have a rendezvous module I put together right here. This is the only data in a rendezvous module I need. We have the classic protractor with Eve up. I have it set to 330 degrees. I had to sit here for a while, but I have it set to 330 degrees because this rocket will not get us to Eve. It will get us to orbit, but it will not get us to Eve. I did put an additional decoupler and clamp down here, so that we could stack a hitchhiker on here and use that to get to... Oh, look at that! We have the moon and we have Minmus right there. That's so pretty. Look at that. They're right next to each other. Great shot for 0.19. But anyway, so we will be taking a hitchhiker up to grab this. So we're just going to go ahead and launch, and we have to go at 270 degrees, not 90 degrees. And I'm fairly certain this will get into orbit because I've tested it before and it works. So let's throttle up. And let's just go, go, go. Don't mind the explosion. For whatever reason, the clamps now explode rather than not. So that's fine. I'm not sure why my throttle is off, or my thrust is off. I don't know why it says I'm going that way. That's disconcerting. That's just something we're going to have to worry about later, I suppose. Oh, ditch those. Carrying all that dead weight. Okay, I'm gonna have to fly this by ear then, because there is no way that we're flying in that direction, so something is definitely not right there. Figure that out in a minute. Yeah, we're not gonna worry about that. So we want to flip to 270s without rotating too much. When we get down to 2 engines, it'll be easier to slow. There we go. It's easier to slow your roll at that point. Alright, we're at 10,000 feet. I'm going to cut this a little bit late, but that's okay. We want to go negative the tilt because we're heading into the system, not out. And I'm just going to keep an eye on this because these numbers should tell me what I need to know more than... I don't know why my gimbal's all screwed up. But like I said, there could be a lot of issues here. I don't know. Alright, so we should be able to get into orbit just fine. So for that reason, I'm going to go ahead and cut here. And I will see you guys when we get up there. Alright everybody, here we are in orbit, and what perfect timing we have getting here as well, because look at that. The sun is setting. Ooh, and I have my solar panels out in order to catch as much light as possible before that goes out. I'm looking at our stats here, and we have 1467 meters per second of fuel left in this tank, and 2197 meters per second left in this tank. I don't know, we may be able to make it to Eve on this. Unfortunately, the ship's not very maneuverable. It seems they have dumbed down the invisible thrusters on a lot of these pods, and for that reason, we don't see. It's a lot harder to move heavy rockets with those little pods. It looks like the occlusion isn't 100%, or at least not right now, because we do have this line of light. They really did do a good job, because as you see now, we are in shadow. This is something I'm going to have to cope with a lot, because I do know that a lot of my videos come out dark. When YouTube gets its hands on them, it darkens the video, then tells me, hey, your video's too dark. Would you like us to lighten it up? And be like, hey, if you kept your hands off of it, it wouldn't be a problem. But not so much now. So for that reason, I am going to use a little bit of battery power and show you this. These are the lights from the B9 cockpit mod. They're just little itty bitty tiny point lights. They're excellent. They are excellent for this for 0.19. You put a couple around a docking clamp, lights it up like it's daylight. Put 4 on each side of the docking clamp, and better than having a Kerbal out there. Wonderful, wonderful little lights. I love these little lights. As you can see, they cast great shadows. There's only 4 of them. They use very little electricity. Yeah, if you take a look, it's 498. I don't know how much electricity we have in the bump. Yeah, see, that's how much electricity I'm currently using just with the lights. So it uses very little electricity. Great for docking on the dark side. Great for just, you know, luminescence. Wonderful tiny little lights. Comes with the B9 aerospace cockpit system. Also, I am using the quantum struts, which may also be taking out power, so the lights probably use even less than that. So I'm going to kill the lights, though, and then I'm going to test out. I mean, we have a ton of fuel in here, right? So I'm going to test out and see. Let's actually check how much fuel we have in this, just in case the crossfeed is eating it. Okay. I'm going to check out our maneuvering, and I'm going to see if maybe there's a chance we can get to Eve with the fuel we have currently on hand. If not, we will absolutely bring up a hitchhiker, because a hitchhiker can get us anywhere in the solar system right now, which is totally awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and pause here, do that up. It hasn't changed since 0.18, so I'm not going to do any of the map stuff on hand. Just going to do this, going to do it off camera, and then I will absolutely bring you guys back, depending on if we have to start with the hitchhiker, or if we can just burn out from here. And if we can burn out from here, I do have to, yeah. So we do have a little while to go if we can burn out from here. Well, it says Delta V needed is 1,009. Wow, could we make it? I will absolutely have to see. So we'll have to see. Maybe this little itty bitty rocket can get us to Eve. Holy God, that'd be insane. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pause here. So I'll see you guys after the break. Alright everybody, took a little while getting used to the new MechJeb system. Note to anyone who's going to use MechJeb: if you're using it to plan your rendezvous, do not go reverse orbit. It bases everything on a 90-degree orbit with Kerbal, I guess. Not a 270-degree orbit. So if you're going opposite, you know, if you're going left instead of right, I don't know, east instead of west, whatever. Anyway, point being is, if you're going at 270 degrees, not 90 degrees, MechJeb gets mad to the point where it miscalculates everything. It was telling me that I would have to burn in 11 days, so I moved out, and I fast forwarded 11 days, came back, reset the node, and it said 8 days. So I went forward 8 days, came back, it said 177 days. I'm like, what the hell? So I did it manually, and manually is like 4 minutes. I'm like, okay, so MechJeb has some issues when it comes to left versus right versus manual versus not, so on and so forth. So it's helpful. It helped a little bit. Gave me a little bit of confidence, but it wasn't 100%. So I did try to use MechJeb 2.0 for that. Didn't work. But we do have a burn coming up. It's 1303.7 meters a second. We have just enough to do the burn. Then we have 2197 to slow our happy butts down, and hopefully that will be more than enough to get us into orbit around Eve. Our projected orbit around Eve will take us roughly 300,000 meters above the surface. Yeah, that's how badass it is. So this little rocket may get us around Eve, and that'll be more than enough. So we'll go ahead and give it a shot. Hopefully it'll happen. If it doesn't, well, worst comes to worst, we all die. Or at least we lose our probe. So we will burn in 1 minute and some on, well, let's fast forward a little bit. So it'll be 1 minute roughly. 50 seconds, 30 seconds, 20 seconds. I don't know how long this burn will take, so we'll just burn up right now. So it looks like it's going to take about 40 seconds. So I was going to do a 50-50 burn, but we're a little short. That's okay. We're also a little uneven, which is not okay. What the hell? That makes me a little nervous. Come on, bring it back down. Bring it back down. Come on, little buddy, bring it back down. Don't do this to me. Not sure what was up with that. Let's go ahead and try this again. There we go. So it looks like we have a little drag going on there. Not sure what's causing it, but we'll have to cope with it accordingly. Hopefully I can just keep this roughly where it's supposed to be until it goes away, and worst comes to worst, there we go. Worst comes to worst, we'll be a few meters off. A few 100,000 meters off. And kill the engine. Can we? Okay, we'll just do that. Alright, so it started to go back up. Let's see what our projection shows us. Our projection shows us that we will not be landing where we had hoped, I think. I don't know why. No, it's Moho. Why are we setting Moho? Here. Why is... Okay. Map issue. Sometimes you can't set as target, Eve. Come on, what the hell? Alright, let's delete that. Our orbit's going to take us close, but not close enough. I don't know why Eve won't let us set as target right now. Map out, map in. There it is. Oh, we're pretty close. We'll have to do an adjust when we're out there, and we will absolutely do that, but we're pretty damn close. 200 and... Separation is 279,000 kilometers? That can't be right. Well, according to this, we have 278 million meters, so... Well, I guess 1,000... Oh, it's 1,000 kilometers, yeah, million meters. So we're about 200 million meters out, so we're a little off. We will fix that. I should have been paying attention to this, but we will fix that along the way. So let us go ahead and watch Kerbal disappear. We'll go ahead and do that. Oh, there's our rotate. So there's the moon. Bye-bye, moon. There's Kerbal. Bye-bye, Kerbal. So pretty. So very pretty in 0.19 with the light occlusion like that. So totally awesome. Zoom, and out we go into the deep space. Dun 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 dun. Alright. Well, this is going to be wrong, but this will be right. I don't know what click to toggle approach line means, but there goes Kerbal. We're going to get out into deep space. We're going to have to do a little bit of micro adjustments. Hopefully 67 meters per second is more than enough to do those micro adjustments. I don't have current thrust to rate ratio on here, do I? That is something I am going to have to add to that. So I'll show you guys how we do that. Let's go ahead. Well, we don't have to do it here. We already have it. So we say edit, boink, which brings up this. We say vessel, and I think current thrust to rate ratio. Surface thrust to rate ratio is right there. Since it's at the bottom and we don't want it down there, we click here. Let's slow down time, by the way. Let's slow down time. And we say move up, 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 down. There you go. That's about right. And then that's done. So we say done, close, done. Check it out. So now we have thrust to rate ratio, which is surface is 2.52. I don't know if they have current right now, so unfortunately we can't see. But yeah, we're out here in space, in the space place. We will sort of we will adjust our Eve encounter just as soon as we can. So I will see you guys when we've either got lost in space or when we've saved the day. So I'll see you guys there. Alright everybody, there is our friendly neighborhood hothouse planet right there. There is Eve. Check it out. Isn't that wonderful? You can see it, a little black dot against that big yellow sun. Aww. We do have a burn coming up to slow ourselves into an orbit, believe it or not. Oh my god, I can't believe this actually worked. It will take us into a very light orbit, and I say light orbit because it's just enough of a burn to get us into an orbit. Once that's done, I need to make an adjustment, and of course to get us into a polar north-south orbit. We are at a slight tilt. We are coming in at about, I'd say 45 degrees or so, which helps, but we still need that 90-degree cover. So we're going to go ahead and watch ourselves come into Eve nice and clean. I can't... Ooh, gotta be careful not to do that. Just right by without even realizing it. Can't even believe that worked, though. That was totally awesome that worked. Okay, here it comes. 10 minutes. So there is Eve, waiting for us, happily, working on our friendliness. I'm wondering if I should quit now. I quick save before. I'm not going to quick save like 9 minutes from a burn. Just in case. Just in case something's wrong, you know? I'm still haven't worked out all of the glitches and bugs. We had that initial bug where it said my thrust was in a direction that it wasn't. Made me nervous. Alright, so we have a burn in 2 minutes. It's gonna take 2 minutes. Should I... Oof, not sure if we should start our burn now. See, I get iffy on that kind of thing, whether or not we should start our burn now or wait. Well, it's 1 minute 38 seconds. I guess we could try a 50-50, right? Ooh, there's our flip. So what's 138? Like what? 236 will be about 116, 118, right about now, you think? So let's just do that. Let's just start our burn now. Oh yeah, this thing does have a drag coefficient on one side of it, and I did not realize that. Oh, okay, the burn only takes what? 30 seconds. So our engine count was off. Okay. So we burned a little bit. That's okay. I think it was calculating based on our last engine, which is fine, but not great considering what we need. Pardon that sound, that's my cat being weird. She does that sometimes. I'm not even sure if it recorded, but if it is, there it is for posterity. Alright, 30 seconds. We can speed up just a little bit, I think. I'm so nervous being around Eve with like just this rocket. I expected to have a hitchhiker module or something on me, but nope, just this little rocket. That's all we have. That's all we needed was just this little thing. Nothing super big or important or anything. Just this teeny tiny little thing. Yeah, we're a little top heavy or bottom heavy. Something on here has a drag on it. I'm not sure what it is that has drag, but something does, and it's kind of yanking on us a little bit. That's okay though. Maybe zero drag isn't zero drag anymore, because it is pulling in the direction of are we in orbit? Not yet. It is pulling in the direction of, what's the word I'm looking for? The ISA map sat, and it did say it had a drag of 0. And done, right? Hey, there we go. Okay, so there's our orbit. There is our orbit, and we just need to loop around to this side, and we should be able to, without too much difficulty, do this. Well, let's do this on here while we're here. Whoa, big. Right? 90 degrees? Roughly 90 degrees? Oops. No, don't want to target Gilly. Yeah, what's really weird about this is you can do it like this. You just have to be, like, extra super careful on how you do it. There's, like, so many different ways to do it. Kind of want to use as little fuel as possible, but I also don't want to change my periapsis. And it looks like my periapsis will actually go up a little bit if I do that. To about 300,000. Can I bring that... Damn it, I did it again. Can I bring that down? Oh, I'm clicking on... Okay, for whatever reason, it's clicking on that instead. Oh well, that's close enough. It's being weird. And it's close enough to get us into a polar orbit, which is what we wanted first, and we can work with the apoapsis and periapsis later. So, to do that, we are going to quick save, because we are now officially in orbit around our bestest friend in the whole wide universe, Eve! And although the ISA mapsat is currently mapping Eve very gently, we are not going to deal with that. We are going to go out here to the middle of space first. Bye-bye, Eve, but just for a moment. Just for a teeny tiny moment. And if we don't have enough fuel for full-on We should have enough fuel. Should have maybe just enough fuel to slow ourselves down. Wow, really? It's gonna... Oh, we're only at 50 points. Ooh, wow, it takes 2 days to get all the way out here. Woo, look at that. Look at that. Barely anything. Yeah, it says 2 days. I'm thinking it might... Well, I'm not sure. Yeah, there's still a few little bugs in here. 1 day... Oh, maybe not. I don't know. 1 day... Yeah, maybe a few. No, nope, it's just me. I guess the curve itself... Wow, look how far away we are now. The curve itself is what causes it. So when you get to the edge of the curve, it actually speeds time up or slows time down or some shaz like that. Gotta stay out of the map screen, remember? Gotta stay out of the map screen. Important. 13, 12, 10, 8, 7, 6, 4. There you go. Yeah, you know it. 3, 2. Well, that's just hours. That's not even minutes. 1 hour. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A little bit further. 10 minutes left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How far out? Wow, we are so far out here. Okay, we're down to 1 minute and some odd seconds. Let's speed that up just one more time. We'll go at 5 times speed. Any higher than that, I'm starting to cut out. And close enough. So let's start our little Bernie. Keep yourself straight. Super important. That drag coefficient on there. Eventually they'll make it to where that drag coefficient is no longer a problem. I hope one day. Where drag does not count in space anymore. I think we left orbit, then returned to orbit. I think that's what that was. I think we actually somehow left Eve orbit and then returned to orbit. Alright. Can't get much closer than that. Look at that. Alright, we have one more maneuver to do and then we'll start mapping. And our last maneuver, of course, is to go to our periapsis, add a maneuver, and just slow ourselves down. Now that's a 733 meter per second burn, probably going to take a little bit more. To circularize. Circularize is 337 by 288. That's not right. We'll burn up a little bit of our fuel to do it. 336 by 292. 337. I could just have MechJeb circularize. I'm kind of in the mood to do it myself, you know? 303 by 326. Super close. 307 by 323. Speed up or slow down? 320 by 304. Whatever. Honestly speaking, it can't get much closer than that, can it? Can it, honestly? I mean, that's just being anal, right? Yeah, we'll leave it at that. That'll be our circularization. So let's go ahead and roll ourselves around one more time. And we'll go ahead and trust the clock this time. We're actually going to trust the clock, even though we're going 63.5 meters per second, if you can believe that. But we are absolutely going to trust the clock this time. So quick save, super fast. We're in orbit, polar orbit nonetheless. And we're just going to zoom, zoom, zoom right back over to Eve. There it is, spinning around like a top for us. We're going to slowly speed up as we come around. Now I think the effective, the effective range of the ISA map stat is roughly 500,000, but depending on the planet, you want to go to a range that matches the planet. And I think for Eve, the range is roughly the same as Kerbin, and that should be about 300,000 meters. So we should be roughly right where we need to. And I know that the range on this keythane detector, we just have it here because we may need it, but the range on this keythane detector is pretty damn far in its own right. So we'll work on that as we go along, and we'll see if it needs adjusting or whatnot. Probably won't, but you never know. The fact that we use a rocket I designed to get into Kerbin orbit to to fly out to Eve, that's pretty damn awesome by itself. And yes, I know I just quick saved right before a burn, but this is an okay burn, because if we miss it this time, we can always come back and do it again. That's right. Okay, this is going to take 2 minutes, so let's start our burn. Yeah, it's a liar. It's a liar. I've never liked the estimated burn because it estimates on your last thrust, and your last thrust is always at like 1. So it's never right. So let's go ahead and keep going down. Down, down, down. Alright. What do you say, 20 seconds? Close enough? Close enough for me. Alright, here we go. Oh, gotta keep it straight. Important that we keep it straight. We gotta keep everything where it belongs. Just like that. Nice long burn. Ah, come on, bring it back down. Bring it back down. There we go. Alright. I'm keeping an eye on my apoapsis, which is now 1 million meters. Yeah, this thing's really dragging on me now. Didn't used to. It's gotta be that ISA map stat now, like, causes burn or something. Or causes drag now. Which is okay. I don't blame them. I'm using an old part for a new game. I found this in the corner, Jim. What do you want me to do with it? I just slap it on. It doesn't look that rusty. Yeah, that's what we're talking about here. Alright. So we're at 327 by 311. You think we can get that a little bit better? 326, 21. Yep, we're done. That's about right. That'll be about it. We have 101 meters per second burn time left. We can go ahead and check out our ISA map stat, which is showing us Kerbin. I did notice that I copied my maps over from 0.18, but anomalies must be redetected. So for those of you who are wondering if you can just hijack maps, yes you can, but you cannot hijack anomaly locations. You have to find them again. So unfortunately all the anomaly locations are missing for everyone. So we want to say current position on, and we can say anomalies on, but that won't do us any good, because if there are anomalies we have to detect them. That's the thing. So for now, I'm not sure how long this video is going to be. Probably not very long, but even if it is long, let's go ahead and go 50 times on this one. Even if it is very long, that's okay, because I do have to map. So once again, I would like to thank you all for joining me. Well, why am I saying that now? I just said I'm gonna map. I'm sorry about that. That was a premature request to evacuate the location. No, I'm gonna go ahead and pause here. Absolutely, I'm sorry, and I will see you guys after the break once this thing's totally mapped out. Oy. Alrighty everybody, after our initial pass of the planet, as you can see there are a few lines left here and there, but the map is complete enough to say two things. I guess you could say, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, whatever. Anyway, there's two things we can say about this planet, without a doubt. I think that's what I was looking for. One, there are no anomalies. Thus, exploration of Eve for the purpose of seeing anomalies is out of the question. Secondly, we don't need a gravioli detector to tell that both the atmosphere on Eve as well as the gravity on Eve make it prohibitive. Mining for kethane, even though we found large deposits of kethane on Eve, would be used solely for Eve itself. So we'd have to build a base on Eve, and then any kethane mined would have to stay on Eve, because landing on Eve and then taking off from Eve, wow, no. So any Kerbal who landed here would not be able to go home, at least not very easily at all. And that's not something I really want to do to the Kerbals. I know we've left them around the solar system, but each and every one of them has the potential of returning back to Kerbin if we so choose. Right now, our technology and our rocket building skills, so totally awesome, as proof by the iSat here. By the way, that's what I called this, was the iSat, just in case anybody was wondering. And the reason I call it the iSat is because everything with an I in it, and I've lost an entire planet. There it is. Everything with an I in it is made by Apple, and of course, apples and Eve, and you can make the connection. So, fun. Yeah, I'm great at fun word jokes like that. So anyway, no anomalies on Eve, but with this little itty bitty rocket being able to get us to Eve and then into orbit, with a rocket that I built specifically to get just into orbit around Kerbin, That's a pretty big step. That's actually a pretty awesome thing to find out. And because of that, we could probably take the same rocket to Moho. And I think that's going to be our next stop. I don't think Moho has any anomalies. We're going to have to check. And even if we just check and map, that's, what we need to do. And depending on what we find on Moho, will determine the following episodes, I guess you could say. So, super exciting stuff coming up. Swear, promise. After Moho, something awesome is going to happen. I hope you guys are going to enjoy it. So, once again, I would like to thank you all for joining me for Kilobyte Short on the first episode of Season 3 of Kerbal Space Adventures and Kerbal Space Program. And I will see you next video.